Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
हरे कृष्णा। ललितमन प्रभु, राजू प्रभु, संध्या माता जी, रश्मि माता जी, मुरलीधर प्रभु, दंडवत प्रणाम। Thank you so much for waiting. Sorry, I was in Kirtan, so ecstatic Kirtan here. This Achita Gopi Mataji and Ananta Govind Prabhu, African American devotees. So nicely, every Wednesday they come around 8:30 EST time. 8:30 they spend 2.5 hours. Wonderful Kirtans actually. Heart melting. Very nice. Thank you for waiting. We'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Guruvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastriyata Deshatarane Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yatrupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Vishram Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopyo Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sabhahyabhyantaram Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suryo Diviva Chakshunatadam Sadviprasa Vipanya Ujagradam Sasamindate Vishnum Yat Paramam Padam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So we are continuing our readings from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1. We are at this particular verse. I just open another browser, I think. Okay. Yeah. Text 30. We have to start from there. Maybe 8. Okay. So in our Bhakti Vaibhava course, already in the 8th chapter, 31st verse. So we won't able to catch anyway. Self-readings are to connect in the evening calls or whatever we can. So I'm sharing my screen. 1 second. So this back. Remove pin. Sharing screen now. Okay. Yeah. Rashmi Madhai, please start reading. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1. We will complete the activities. Yes, we are at text 30. Please read translation as well as purport.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Translation and purport given by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. While so excellently ruling the universe, King Priyavrata once became dissatisfied with the circumambulation of the most powerful sun god. Encircling Sumeru hill on his chariot, the sun god illuminates all the surrounding planetary systems. However, when the sun is on the northern side of the hill, the south receives less light, and when the sun is in the south, the north receives less. King Priyavrata disliked this situation and therefore decided to make daylight in the part of the universe where there was night. He followed the orbit of the sun god on a brilliant chariot and thus fulfilled his desire. He could perform such wonderful activities because of the power of he had achieved by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. There is a Bengali saying which describes that someone is so powerful that he can make the night day and the day night. That saying is current because of the power prowess of Priyavrata. His activities demonstrate how powerful he became by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna is known as Yogeshwara, the master of all mystic powers. In Bhagavad Gita 18.78, it is said Wherever there is the master of all mystic power, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, victory, fortune, and all other opulences are present. Devotional service is so powerful. When a devotee achieves what he wants to accomplish, it is not by his own mystic power, but by the grace of the master of the mystic power, Lord Krishna. By his grace, a devotee can accomplish wonderful things unimaginable even to the most powerful scientist. Should I continue, Prabhuji?
We'll give it to a big purport. Actually, Prabhupada super ecstasy. That's where he has written very big purports. Let us give it to other devotees. Sandhya Mother, please continue from this paragraph. Thank you, reading. Thank you for reading. Haribol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Please read these two paragraphs.
From the description in this verse, it appears that the sun moves according. From the description in this verse, it appears that the sun moves. According to modern astronomers, the sun is fixed in one place, surrounded by the solar system. But here we find that sun is not stationary; it is rotating in a prescribed orbit. This fact is corroborated by Brahma Samhita. Yasya Gneha Brahmati Samrita Kala Chakra. The sun is rotating in its fixed orbit in accordance with the order order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Jyotir Veda, the science of astronomy in the Vedic literature, the sun moves for 6 months on the northern side of Sumeru Hill and for 6 months on the southern side. We have practical experience on this planet that when there is summer in the north, there is winter in the south and vice versa. Modern materialistic scientists sometimes present themselves as knowing all the ingredients of the sun, yet they are unable to offer a second sun like Maharaja Priyavrata. Although Maharaja Priyavrata devised a very powerful chariot as brilliant as the sun, he had no desire to compete with the sun god, for a Vaishnava never wants to supersede another Vaishnava. His purpose was to give abundant benefits in material existence. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura remarks that in the month of the April and May, the rays of Maharaja Priyavrata's brilliant sun were as pleasing as the rays of the moon, and in October and November, both morning and evening, the sun provided more warmth than the sunshine. In short, Maharaja Priyavrata was extremely powerful, and his actions extended his power in all directions.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, next. Text 31. Yeah, Deepa Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Pranam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Ki Jai. When Priyavrata drove his chariot behind the sun, the rims of his chariot wheel created impressions that later became 7 oceans, dividing the planetary systems known as Bhumandala into 7 islands. Purport. Sometimes the planets in outer space are called islands. We have experience of various types of islands in the ocean. And similarly, the various planets divided into 14 lokas are islands in the ocean of space. As Priyavrata drove his chariot behind the sun, he created 7 different types of oceans and planetary systems, which altogether are known as Bhumandala or Bhuloka. In the Gayatri mantra, we chant Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam. Above the Bhuloka planetary system is Bhuvarloka, and above that is Svargaloka, the heavenly planetary system. All these planetary systems are controlled by Savita, the sun god. By chanting the Gayatri mantra just after rising early in the morning, one worships the sun god. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, Vani Mataji. Text 32. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Then are you able to read, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll read. Translation. The name of the islands are Jambu, Laksha, Salmali, Kusha, Krauncha. Shaka, Saka, and Pushkara. Each island is twice as large as the one preceding it, and each is surrounded by a liquid substance beyond which is the next island. Purport. The ocean in each planetary system has a different type of liquid. How they are situated is explained in the next verse.
You read this one.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. The 7 oceans respectively contain salt water, sugarcane juice, liquor, clarified butter, milk, emulsified yogurt, and sweet drinking water. All the islands are completely surrounded by these oceans, and each ocean is equal in breadth to the island it surrounds. Maharaja Priyavrata, the husband of Queen Barhishmati, gave sovereignty over these islands to his respective sons, namely Agnidra, Idamjiva, Yagnabahu, Hiranyayetra, Gritaprashta, Medatithi, and Vitihotra. Thus, they all became kings by the order of their father. Purport. It is to be understood that all the dvipas or islands are surrounded by different types of oceans, and it is said herein that the breadth of each ocean is the same as that of the island it surrounds. The length of the ocean, however, cannot equal to the length of the islands. According to Veeraraghava Acharya. Yeah, Veeraraghava Acharya, the breadth of the first island is 1 lakh yojanas. 1 yojana equals to 8 miles, and therefore the breadth of the first island is calculated to be 8 lakh miles. The water surrounding it must have the same breadth, but its length must be different.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
There are all calculations of these islands, 7 islands. Viewpas we described nicely. Text 34, Prabhuji's. Raju Prabhu, are you able to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Translation. King Priyavata then gave his daughter Ujjaswati in marriage to Shukracharya, who begat in her daughter named Devayani. So Shukracharya Prabhuji, who is a demon's guru? Same Shukracharya.
Forgot Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Demons ka guru. Devata's guru is Brihaspati. Demons ka guru is Shukracharya.
Very good. Thank you, Mother. Yeah. Continue, Prabhu.
Translation. My dear king, a devotee who has taken shelter of the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord can transcend the influence of the 6 material waves, namely hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death. And he can conquer the mind by 5 senses. However, this is not very wonderful for pure devotee of the Lord, because even a person behind the jurisdiction of the 4 castes, in other words, an untouchable is immediately relieved of a bondage to material existence if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. Purport. Sukadeva Goswami was speaking to Maharaj Parikshit about the activities of King.
ఇది పెద్ద పర్పట్ ఉంది ప్రభు, అందుకే చూస్తున్నా. చదవండి, ఒక పారాగ్రాఫ్ చదవండి.
Okay. Sukadeva Goswami was speaking to Maharaj Parikshit about the activities of King Priyavrata, and since the king might have had doubts about this wonderful, uncommon activity, Sukadeva Goswami reassured him. My dear king, he said, don't be doubtful about the wonderful activities of Priyavrata. For a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything is possible because of the Lord. Lord is also known as Urukrama. Urukrama is named for Lord Vamanadeva, who performed the wonderful act of occupying 3 worlds with 3 footsteps. Lord Vamanadeva requested 3 pieces of land from Maharaja Bali. When Maharaja Bali agreed to grant them, the Lord immediately covered the entire world with the 2 steps. And for the 3rd step, he placed it on the foot upon Bali Maharaj's head. Shri Jayadeva Goswami says.
Sing, you want to sing? This is a song. దశావతార స్తోత్రం చెప్పండి, చేయండి. చలయసి విక్రమనే బలిం చదవండి, చేయండి. రాజు ప్రభు
కష్టం ప్రభు నాకు రాదు.
రాదా? ఓకే ఓకే. చలయసి విక్రమనే బలిం అద్భుత వామన పదనక నీరజనిత జన పావన కేశవద్రీత వామన రూప జయ జగదీశ హరే జయ జగదీశ హరే జయ జగదీశ హరే. లెట్ మీ కంప్లీట్ దిస్ పారాగ్రాఫ్.
ప్రభుజీ ఈ శ్లోక కూడా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ప్రభు, నేను చెప్పడం మర్చిపోయింది.
చేద్దాం. మీరు డిసైడ్, మీరు టైం వచ్చినప్పుడు మీరు టర్న్ చేయడం. All glories to Lord Keshava, who assumed a form of a dwarf. O Lord of the universe, who take away everything inauspicious for the devotees. O wonderful Vamana Deva, you tricked the great demon Bali Maharaja by your steps, the water that touched the nails of your lotus feet. When you pierced through the covering of the universe, purifies all living entities in the form of the river Ganges. Let me read some more, and there will be purport on the. Okay. Yeah. Last three you read, Prabhu. Welcome, Prabhu. Then we can recite. So I will read these two. Okay, I will read these two. Since the Supreme Lord is all powerful, he can do things that seem wonderful for a common man. Similarly, a devotee who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord can also do wonderful things unimaginable to a common man by the grace of the dust of those lotus feet. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore teaches us to take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. Ainandathanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavambudau krupaya tava pada pankaja stitadhuli sadrisham vichintaya. O son of Nanda Maharaja, I am your eternal servant. Yet somehow or other, okay, certainly I am seeing message. Okay. O son of Nanda Maharaja, I am your eternal servant. Yet somehow or other, I have fallen to the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. Lord Chaitanya teaches us to come in touch with the dust of the Lord's lotus feet. For then, there will undoubtedly be all success. Yeah, these three paragraphs chadavan Prabhu, then you can recite or you can explain whatever. Okay? Prabhu. Prabhu. Go ahead. అందరు అయిపోయినాయి ఒక టైం, one time done. Okay. Yeah, please read remaining purport.
Prabhu, I will do it after one or two devotees.
Acha. Then I will read one again. Because of the any Matajis you want to read Haribol? Sandhya Mataji in hearing mode, Lavanya also in hearing mode. Anyone likes to read?
I can
Can I
read.
read?
Yeah, Rashmi Mataji, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji. Because of the material body, every living entity in material existence is always distributed by Sadguna. Disturbed by Sadguna. 6 waves: hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, invalidity, and death.
Invalidity means old age. Okay. Yeah, our body won't move, or bedridden, not move like that. Yeah.
Yes, furthermore, another Sadguna are the mind and 5 sense organ. Not to speak of a sanctified devotee, even a Chandalam. An outcast who is untouchable is immediately freed from the material bondage if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. Sometimes caste Brahmanas argue that unless one changes his body, he cannot be accepted as a Brahmana. For since the present body is obtained as a result of past actions, one who has in the past acted as a Brahmana takes birth in a Brahmana family. Therefore, they contend without such a Brahmanical body, one cannot be accepted as a Brahmana. Herein it is said, however, that even Vidura Vigata, a Chandala, a 5th class untouchable, is freed if he utters the holy name even once. Being freed means that he immediately changes his body. Sanatana Goswami confirms this.
Yeah, you want to recite? Otherwise, give it to.
Yes, Prabhuji, give it to someone.
Yeah, Mataji. Okay, continue. No, yeah, Deepa Mataji, continue. Haribol, Mataji.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, please do that.
Just यथा काञ्चनतां याति रसविधानता तथा दीक्षाविधानेन द्विजत्वं जयते. When a person, even though a Chandala, is initiated by a pure devotee into chanting the holy name of the Lord, he changes the instructions of the spiritual master. Although one cannot see how his body has changed, we must accept on the grounds of the authoritative statements of the Shastras that he changes his body. This is to be understood without arguments. This verse clearly says, Sir Jahati Bandham. Sir Jahati Bandham. He gives up his material bondage. The body is a symbolic representation of material bondage according to one's karma. Although sometimes we cannot see the gross body chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord immediately changes the subtle body. And because the subtle body changes, the living entity is immediately freed from material bondage. After all, the changes of the gross body are conducted by the subtle body. After the destruction of the gross body, the subtle body takes the living entity from his present gross body to another. In the subtle body, the mind is predominant, and therefore, if one's mind is always absorbed in remembering, and therefore, if one's mind is always absorbed in remembering the activities or the lotus feet of the Lord, he is to be understood to have already changed his present body and become purified. Therefore, it is irrefutable that a Chandala, any fallen or low-born person, can become a Brahmana simply by the method of bona fide initiation. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. So, Prabhu, over to you. Health, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. You are speaking on mute or Haribol? Lalitman Prabhu. Okay.
Yes, I'm just getting on. Yes,
Haribol?
yes, bro. Yes, bro. Just a minute.
Sir, voice will check చేసుకోండి voice internet signal maybe.
Am I audible, Prabhu? Am I audible?
Yeah, audible. So then,
ఇది యాక్చువల్లీ ప్రభు యన్నామధేయం అధునా సహజాతి. Okay, this is an important line in this verse actually. It says that your name itself is enough for cutting the bondage of this material world. Okay, that's where this verse is often quoted. Yannāmadheyam adhuna sajahati. Okay. Naivam vida purushakara urukramasya.
Naivam vida purushakara urukramasya.
Pumsam tadangrirajasa jitasargunanam.
Pumsam
Chitram vidura vigatha sakradadidita.
Chitram vidura vigatha
Yannāmadheyam sajahati bandham.
Yannāmadheyam sajahati bandham.
Once again, you can read the translation and then we can move to the next sloka.
ఇది ఇంకో ఒకసారి అట్లా మన సీక్వెన్స్ చేద్దాం ప్రభు 2 లైన్ చేయండి మళ్ళా తర్వాత 4 లైన్ చేయండి.
అచ్చా ఓకే నైవం విద పురుషకార ఉరుక్రమస్య పుంసాం తదంగ్రిరజసా జితసద్గుణానాం.
नैवं विध पुरुषा
नैवं विध पुरुषा करोति क्रमस्य
कृतस्य
पुंसां तदङ्घ्रिरजसा
जितसाधिगुणानाम्
गुणानाम्
चित्रं विदूर विगता सकृदादधीता
चित्रं
चित्रं
विदूरविगता
विदूरविगता सत्रादधीता
सत्रादधीता
Two lines.
मधुना सजहाति बन्धम्
यन्नामधेयमधुना
यन्नामधेयमधुना
सज्जाति
सजहाति
बन्धम्
बन्धम्
Next two lines together now. Last two lines together now. चित्रं विदूर विगता सकृदादधीता यन्नामधेयमधुना सजहाति बन्धम्
चित्रं
चित्रं
विदूरविगता
विदूरविगता सक्रादधात्या यन्नामधेयमधुना
यन्नामधेयमधुना
सजाति
सजहाति
बन्धम्
बन्धम्
Now once all the four lines together. नैवं विध पुरुषकार उरुक्रमस्य पुंसां तदङ्घ्रिरजसादितसद्गुणानां चित्रं विदूर विगता सकृदादधीत यन्नामधेयमधुना सजहाति बन्धम्
Yeah.
नैवं विद्धा
दैवं विधा
पुरुषा पुंसां
पुंसां तदङ्घ्रिरजसादितसद्गुणानाम्
तदङ्घ्रिरजसादितसद्गुणानां
चित्रं
सकृद्गता
विदुरविगतसक्रादधातिता यन्नामधेयमधुना सजाति बन्धम्
Akincham Prabhu joined. Read translation.
Want me to read synonyms? No?
Akincham.
You want me to read synonyms?
Hare Krishna. Akincham Prabhu.
You want me to
Are you
read
able to
synonyms,
read
bro?
translation?
Pike చేయండి bro.
No. Zoom issue on there. Let me reconnecting. Are you able to see now?
It started.
Hare Krishna.
Now we can see. Yeah, my dear king, a devotee who has taken the shelter of the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord can transcend the influence of the six material waves, namely hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death. And he can conquer the mind and five senses. However, this is not very wonderful for the pure devotees of the Lord, because even a person beyond the jurisdiction of four castes, in other words, an untouchable, is immediately relieved of bondage to material existence if he utters the holy name of the Lord even the once. Perfect. Sukhdev Goswami was
Jai.
speaking. Okay.
Purport Sayanam Prabhu. Purport Sayanam. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Importance of holy name. Thank you, Lalita Prabhu. Waves, huh? Basically, our material body తట్టుకోలేదు యాక్చువల్లీ ఆకలికి తట్టుకోలేదు, దప్పిక తట్టుకోలేదు, లామెంటేషన్ అయితే ఉంటది, illusioning, old age and death. And he can conquer the mind and five senses. When a devotee who has taken the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord can transcend the influence of six and the six material waves. However, this is not very wonderful for a devotee of the Lord, because even a person beyond the jurisdiction of caste the four caste system is there, right? the holy names of the Supreme Lord. Even once, and even once. So this is the power of holy
Prabhuji,
name.
your voice is breaking, Prabhuji. It is not clear.
Power of holy name మనకు శిక్షాష్టకం. Thank
Yes, sir.
అచ్చా. Hare Krishna, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji, now it is clear.
Yeah. Now I connected from my mobile data. Thank you, devotee. Sorry for the, this one. We are all on internet world. ఈ ఫ్లక్చువేట్ అవుతా ఉంటుంది. సో సారీ. ఎనీవే, సో ఐఎమ్ షేరింగ్ అగైన్ దిస్ స్క్రీన్. I was asking one question, devotees, tell me. In Sikshastakam prayer, there is one power of holy name is mentioned. So ikkademo even once, anybody, a dog eater, a low caste born, anybody, it chanted holy names utterly at once, even at once, can relieve from that is the power of holy name. So in the Sikshastakam prayer also we have that one. Anybody quickly remember and recite? Remember and recite.
नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पित नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवं मीदृशी जनीनानुरागः.
Correct. That's what correct. That is, yes. That Sikshastakam, KK songs. Let us read that translation now. Okay, this second one. Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. Tatrarpita Nimita Smaranena Kala Etadrishita Kripa Bhagavan Mama. Durdaiva Midrishami Hajani Nanuragaha. Translation read. Anybody devotee? Second one. Quickly. Any devotee? Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dhanavad Pranam.
Yes.
Please read this translation
Yes,
once.
yes, Prabhu. Oh my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names, like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, we have invested all your transcendental energies. They are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
So that is the thing. All benedictions, all benedictions were all. ఈ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అన్ని పోతాయి. Immediately relieved of bondage, material existence. So the what is that? Prabhupada, relieved of bondage to material existence. What does it mean? Relieved of bondage to material existence. What is that? Relieved of bondage to material existence. I'm moving to next verse, but think about that. What is that? Relieved of bondage of material existence?
అంటే జన్మ మృత్యు జరా వ్యాధి లేకుండా ఉండడం.
Yeah. And those kleshas also. Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidvika. So that is also there. Total 7, 4 plus 3, 7 miseries, material miseries of on the bodily level. As long as we got the body, means we are under the three modes of material nature. And when we are under the 3 modes of material nature, the material laws, proper right, this super word, stringent material laws. This one, Janma Mrityu Jara, cycle of birth and death, and 3 kleshas, Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidaivika. Miseries come from our own mind and body. Miseries come from natural disturbances, that the tsunamis, floods, etc. And miseries come from other living entities, that poisonous snakes, and Scorpion, etc. So that is the thing. Anyway, next verse 36, second time also, second round. చూద్దాము. నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరు చదువుతారు? వారైతే యూ రీడ్ సమ్
Hare Krishna Prabhu, maybe.
చదవండి మొత్తది. యా చదవండి.
Yeah.
Text 36.
Text 36 translation. While enjoying his material opulences with full strength and influence, Maharaja Priyavrata once began to consider that although he had fully surrendered to the great saint Narada and was actually on the path of Krishna consciousness, he had somehow become again entangled in material activities. Thus, his mind now became restless, and he began to speak in a spirit in renunciation. Purport. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17, it is said,
చదవండి. ఇప్పుడు మీరు అందరూ కూడా యాంకర్ శ్లోకాలు విత్ ద మర్సీ ఆఫ్ లలితమోహన్ ప్రభు. సో చూడగానే మనం ఏదో ఒక పట్టేసుకోవాలి ట్యూన్. ఛాలెంజింగ్ సిచ్యువేషన్ ఫర్ యూ. శిరీష మాతది ట్రై చేయండి.
Yes, Prabhuji. Tyaktva swadharmam charanambujam harir bhajan apaktotapatattato yadi yatraktva vabhadram amusya kim kovarta apo bhajanatam swadharmanaha. Prabhuji, can you help me? Sorry.
లలితమోహన్ ప్రభు హెల్ప్ చేస్తారు ఇక్కడ.
Lalit Mohan Prabhu.
చేయమంటారు బాబు?
ఒకసారి రిసైడ్ చేయండి వాట్ ఎవర్ ట్యూన్.
త్యక్వా స్వధర్మం శరణాంబుజం హరేర్ భజన్ అపక్వోऽథ పతేతతో యది యత్ర క్వభద్రమభూతముస్య కిం को वार्त आप्तो भजतां स्वधर्मतः.
Thank you, Prabhuji. One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage. Yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, through fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. If one somehow or other comes to the shelter of a great Vaishnava, takes to Krishna consciousness because of a sentiment or realization, but in course of time falls down because in immature understanding he is not actually fallen, for his having engaged in Krishna consciousness is a permanent asset. If one falls down, therefore his progress might be checked for a certain time, but it will again become manifest at an opportunity moment. Although Priyavrata Maharaja was serving according to the instructions of Narada Muni meant for going back home, back to Godhead, he returned to material affairs at the request of his father. In due course of time, however, in consciousness for serving Krishna reawakened by the grace of his spiritual master Narada.
Very good.
Can I continue? Thank you. Thank you.
పెద్ద పర్పట్ ఉంది మాత. You will give it to somebody. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay,
so this is very important. This seems important verse, Prabhu. One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage. Yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, but does not gain anything. Prabhupada writes in the important statement here. If one somehow or other comes to the shelter of a great Vaishnava, takes to Krishna consciousness because of sentiment or realization, but in course of time falls down because of immature understanding, he is not actually fallen, for his having engaged in Krishna consciousness is a permanent asset. If one falls down, therefore, his progress might be checked for a certain time, but it will again become manifest at an opportune moment. Very nice. So problem is not there. I mean, one person coming into a platform of devotional service, at some situations comes in a fall downs, but still, he started process, he started a devotional service, but in course of time, because immature understanding that he is not actually fallen, but for his having engaged in Krishna consciousness is a permanent asset. If once fall down, therefore his progress might be checked for a certain time, but will again become manifest. It will again become manifest at an opportune moment. Mali time వస్తుంది, మళ్ళీ go back. And this is the thing, no? ఇది ఒక భలే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఉంటుంది. నేను కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్ రాకముందు విజయానికి 5 మెట్లు ఎండమూరి అట్లా ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇస్తాడు. ఈ సాలెపురు కింద ఒక గూడు కట్టుకోవడానికి కింద పడుతూ లేస్తుంది for many times until it builds a proper nest. So that is the situation. Krishna conscious also for sometimes, because of our conditionings, past samskaras, sometimes, we won't be able to get it, but still we started the process. So this gives a lot of confidence, but still we have to put effort, of course. Without putting effort, how can we invoke the mercy of Supreme Lord? That is there. But పడుతూ అవుతా ఉంటుంది. But still we have to understand at certain point, at opportune moment, that is a good word Prabhupada used. Opportune moment. It will again become manifested in opportune moment. So how can we get that opportune moment unless we try? We have to try. We have to again follow regulatory principles, follow strictly following sadhana, attentively focus on holy names. Right? So this is the thing. Nice purport. Very good. I want to do this. I have to put it in somewhere. Continue. So, okay. Next paragraph, Haribol. Madhavi, please read. Or Rashmi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Anybody is
Prabhuji.
newly joining?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Read one more paragraph. And next
Yes,
to Madhavi Mataji, please be ready. Next to Deepa Mataji, please be ready and read. Continue.
Yes. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 6.41, Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrasto Bhijayate. One who falls down from the process of bhakti yoga is again offered the opulence of the demigods, and after enjoying such material opulence he is given a chance to take birth in a noble family of a pure brahmana, or in the rich family, to be given the chance to revive the Krishna consciousness. This actually happened in the life of Priyavrata. He is a most glorious example of this truth. In due course of time, he no longer wanted to enjoy his material opulence and his wife, kingdom, and sons. Instead, he wanted to renounce them all. Therefore, after having described the material opulence of Maharaja Priyavrata, Sukadeva Goswami in this verse described his tendency of renunciation.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Madhavi Mataji, please complete this verse. Read these two paragraphs. Haribol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Please read.
The words Devarshi Charananu Shayana indicate that Charananu Shayana indicate that Maharaja Priyavrata, having fully surrendered to the great sage Devarshi Narada, was strictly following all the devotional process and regulative principles under his direction. In regard to strictly following the regulative principles, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura says, Dandavat Pranamas Tan Anupatitaha, by immediately offering obeisances, Dandavat, unto the spiritual master, and by strictly following his directions, the student becomes advanced. Maharaja Priyavrata was doing all these things regularly.
Continue. Yeah. Read it.
Okay. As long as one is in the material world, he has to be under the influence of the modes of material nature. Guna Visarga. It is not that Maharaja Priyavrata was freed from material influence because he possessed all material opulences. In this material world, both the very poor man and very rich man are under material influences. For both wealth and poverty are creations of the modes of material nature. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.27, Prakrute Kriyamanani Gunai Karmani Sarvashaha. According to the modes of material nature we acquire, the material nature gives us facility for material enjoyment.
Very well. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next. Deepa Mataji or Vani Mataji, please start.
I'll start, Prabhuji.
Next 37.
Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The king thus began criticizing himself. Alas, how condemned I have become because of my sense gratification. I have now fallen into material enjoyment, which is exactly like a covered well. I have had enough. I am not going to enjoy anymore. Just see how I have become like a dancing monkey in the hands of my wife. Because of this, I am condemned. Purport. How condemned is the advancement of material knowledge can be understood from the behavior of Maharaja Priyavrata. He performed such wonderful acts as creating another sun which shined during the night and creating a chariot so great that its wheels formed vast oceans. These activities are so great that modern scientists cannot even imagine how such things can be done. Maharaja Priyavrata acted very wonderfully in the material field of activities, but because he was dealing in sense gratification, ruling his kingdom, and dancing to the indications of his beautiful wife, he personally condemned himself. When we think about this example of Maharaja Priyavrata, we can just consider how degraded is the modern civilization of materialistic advancement. Modern so-called scientists and other materialists are very satisfied because they can construct great bridges, roads, and machines. But such activities are nothing comparable to those of Maharaja Priyavrata. If Maharaja Priyavrata could condemn himself in spite of his wonderful activities, how condemned we are in our so-called advancement of material civilization. We can conclude that such advancement has nothing to do with the problems of the living entity entangled within the material world. Unfortunately, modern man does not understand his entanglement and how condemned he is, nor does he know what kind of body he is going to have in the next life. From a spiritual point of view, a great kingdom, beautiful wife, and wonderful material activities are all impediments to spiritual advancement. Maharaja Priyavrata had served the great sage Narada sincerely. Therefore, even though he had accepted material opulences, he could not be deviated from his own task. He again became Krishna conscious, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Neha bhikramana sosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. In devotional service, there is no loss or diminution, and even a small service rendered in devotional life is sufficient to save one from the greatest danger, VG 2.40. Such renunciation as Maharaja Priyavrata is possible only by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Generally, when people are powerful or when they have a beautiful wife, a beautiful home, and material popularity, they become more and more entangled. Priyavrata Maharaj, however, having been completely trained by the great sage Narada, revived his Krishna consciousness in spite of all impediments. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Yeah. Very nice purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah. So he's not deviated. One statement is given. Huh? He could not be deviated from his own task because of the training given by Narada Muni. To whom? Priyavrata. So all the materialistic opulences is not intention, but he is, even though he's a maintaining king and is there, his consciousness towards Supreme Lord. Very good. Next, we will read quickly. 9 o'clock, another 5-10 minutes we will do. It's okay. Yeah. Read Mataji. Mana Vani Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. By the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Maharaja Priyavrata reawakened to his senses. Yeah. He divided all his earthly possessions among his obedient sons. He gave up everything, including his wife with whom he had enjoyed so much sense gratification, and his great and opulent kingdom. And he completely renounced all attachment. His heart, having been cleansed, became a place of pastimes for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he was able to return to the path of Krishna consciousness, spiritual life, and resume the position he had attained by the grace of the great saint Narada. Purport. As enunciated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shishtastakam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. As soon as one's heart is cleansed, the blazing fire of
blazing fire of material existence.
Fire of material existence is immediately extinguished. Our hearts are meant for the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means that one should be fully Krishna conscious, thinking of Krishna as he himself advises. Man mana bhava mad bhakto madyeji mam namaskuru. This should be our only business. One whose heart is not clean cannot think of the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Lord. But if one can once again place the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his heart, he very easily becomes qualified to renounce material attachment. Mayavadi philosophers, yogis and jnanis try to give up this material world simply by saying Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. The world is false. There is no use of it. Let us take to Brahman. Such theoretical knowledge will not help us. If we believe that Brahman is the real truth, we have the place within our heart. Heart's the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. As Maharaja Ambrisha did. Savai Mana. Prabhuji, koncham pipe perta. Can you scroll the screen to it? Ambrisha did. Savai Mana Krishna Pada Ravindayo. One has to fix the lotus feet of the Lord within his heart. Then he gets the strength to be freed from the material entanglement.
ఇది కొంచెం పెద్దగా ఉంది. విల్ గివ్ ఇట్ టు ప్రభుజీ ఆల్సో.
Yes, sir.
రాజు ప్రభు చదువుతారా? ఇది రాజు ప్రభు లేకపోతే శిరీష మాదయ్య? హరిబో. ఓకే. అకించం ప్రభు, ప్లీజ్ రీడ్. Today Sapan Prabhu not joined. Akincham Prabhu, then Lalitman Prabhu, then myself. Read something and we can wrap up. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, read from here.
Highlighted Prabhu. Below one.
Yeah, highlighted. Yes.
Maharaj Priyavrat was able to give up the opulent kingdom, and he also gave up the association of his beautiful wife as if she was a dead body. However beautiful one's wife and however attractive her bodily features, one is no longer interested in her when her body is dead. We praise a beautiful woman for her body, but the same body, when bereft of spirit soul, is no longer interesting to any lusty man. Maharaja Priyavrat was so strong by the grace of the Lord that even though his beautiful wife was alive, he could give up her association exactly like one who is forced to give up association of dead wife. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Na dhanam na janam sunna sundarim kavita va jagadish kamaye mama janmanishware bhavata bhakti tuki tvai." Continue, Yala Prabhu.
Yeah, continue. Yes.
Oh, Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. For one who desires to advance in spiritual life, attachments to the opulence and attachments to the beautiful wife are two great impediments. Such attachments are condemned even more than suicide. Therefore, anyone desiring to cross beyond material necessities must, by the grace of the grace of Krishna, be freed from the attachments of women and money. When Maharaja Priyavrata became completely free from these attachments, he could again peacefully follow the principles instructed by the great sage Narada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Impediments. So what are the impediments here? What are the impediments? Two great impediments. Women and money, Prabhupada writes here. Okay, Haribo. Text 39, మన లలిత్ Prabhu చదవండి కొంచెం. Great. Last verse చేయాలి ప్రభు ఈరోజు రుద్రగీతం.
Okay. Translation. There are many famous verses regarding Maharaj Priyavrata's activities. Okay. Purport. Next one. No one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead could do what Maharaj Priyavrat has done. Maharaj Priyavrat dissipated the darkness of night, and with the rims of his great chariot, he excavated 7 oceans. There are many excellent verses famous all over the world concerning the activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. He is so celebrated that his activities are compared to those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes, a sincere servant of a devotee of the Lord is also called Bhagavan. Sri Narada is called Bhagavan. And Lord Shiva and Vyasdeva are also sometimes called Bhagavan. This designation Bhagavan is sometimes conferred upon a pure devotee by the grace of the Lord, so that he will be very highly esteemed. Maharaj Priyavrat was such a devotee. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Let me see next one. If it is big, we'll stop here. It's okay. Anyway, we'll continue tomorrow. How many verses there? This chapter? Chapter 1, 40th verse.
Only 2 more are there, Prabhuji.
2 more there. Let me see.
చిన్నగానే ఉన్నాయి బుక్ లో అయితే చిన్నగానే ఉన్నాయి ఒక్కొక్క పారా ఉంది అదైతే ఈ చాప్టర్ అయిపోతుంది
మిగతా అన్ని మనమే చూసుకోవాలి మొత్తం అయితే ఓకే ఎందుకంటే ఐబిఆర్ ఇన్ విద్యాపీఠ దాంట్లో మనం చూస్తే క్లాస్ మొన్న 8th చాప్టర్ 31st వరకు కంక్లూడ్ చేసిండు ఎక్కడ మనం
సెల్ఫ్ స్టడీ ప్రభుజీ
సెల్ఫ్ స్టడీ
తట్టుకోలేము
వేస్ట్ అది అందుకని ఏదో అనుకున్నా కానీ ఇట్స్ ఓకే అయితే 2 వర్సులు కంప్లీట్ చేద్దాం ఇట్స్ ఓకే లెట్ మీ ఫినిష్ టుమారో ఆన్వర్డ్స్ విల్ గో బ్యాక్ టు అవర్ రెగ్యులర్ సీక్వెన్స్ ఓకే ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ అండ్ పర్పోర్ట్ బై శిలా ప్రభుపాద ki jai. Stop the quarreling among different peoples. Maharaja Priyavrata marked boundaries at rivers and at the edges of mountains and forests so that no one would trespass upon another's property. Purport: the example set by Maharaja Priyavrata in marking of different states is still followed. As indicated here, different classes of men are destined to live in different areas. Therefore, the boundaries of various tracts of land, which are described here as islands, should be defined by different rivers, forests, and hills. This is also mentioned in relation to Maharaja Prithu, who was born from the dead body of his father by the manipulation of great sages. Maharaja Prithu's father was very sinful, and therefore a black man called Nishada was first born from his dead body. The Naishada race was given a place in the forest because by nature they are thieves and rogues. As animals are given places in various forests and hills, men who are like animals are also destined to live there. One cannot be promoted to civilized life unless one comes to Krishna consciousness. For by nature, one is destined to live in a particular situation according to one's karma and association with the modes of nature. If men want to live in harmony and peace, they must take to Krishna consciousness, for they cannot achieve the highest standard while absorbed in the bodily concept of life. Maharaja Priyavrata divided the surface of the globe into different islands so that each class of men would live peacefully and not clash with others. The modern idea of nationhood has gradually developed from the divisions made by Maharaja Priyavrata. Prabhupada statement: the modern idea of nationhood has Sapta Samudralu. So Sapta Samudralu first తయారు చేసిందే Maharaja Priyavrata. The modern idea of nationhood has gradually developed from the divisions made by Maharaja Priyavrata. Okay, 41 is the last paragraph. Okay, last one. I will choose names. Okay. Sirisha Mataji, Hare Krishna. You read some little. Hare Krishna, this is the last verse. Please continue. Okay. Read
a great follower and a devotee of the sage Narada, Maharaja Priyavrata considered hellish the opulences he had achieved by dint of fruitive activities and mystic power, whether in the lower or heavenly planetary system or in human society. Purport: Srila Rupa Goswami has said that the position of a devotee is so super excellent that a devotee does not consider any material opulences worth having. There are different types of opulences on earth, in the heavenly planets, in the heavenly planets, and even lower planetary systems known as Patala. A devotee, however, knows that they are all the material and consequently is not at all interested in them. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Param Drishta Nivartate. Sometimes yogis and jnanis voluntarily give up all material appearances to practice their system of liberation and taste spiritual bliss. However, they frequently fall down because artificial renunciation of material appearances cannot be endured. One must have a superior taste in spiritual life. Then he can give up material appearances. Maharaja Priyavrata had already tasted spiritual bliss, and therefore he had no interest in any of the material achievements available in the lower, higher, or middle planetary systems. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 5th canto, 1st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Activities of Maharaja Priyavrata. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees, for reading Srimad Bhagavatam today in 5th canto, 1st chapter, and we can stop here. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll continue with our RudraGita. Is one of the last verse, and then we can enthusiastically complete it. And plan is, let me see, 1 second. So, how many verses devotees calculate JND? These are the verses. Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 24th chapter, 33 to 70. How many verses? 33, 70 minus 33. What are ఎన్ని వర్సెస్ మొత్తం రుద్రగీతలు ఇప్పటివరకు మనం చేసినాం?
40 వస్తాయి బ్రో, చూసుకోవచ్చు. 40 వస్తాయి.
ఏం బాబుజీ?
నియర్లీ 40, 38,
40 అదే 70. ఇప్పుడు క్యాలిక్యులేటర్ చేస్తే 70 మైనస్
25 నుంచి 50, 45, 45, 46 వస్తాయి, 46, 47 వస్తాయి.
నేను ఇట్లా కొట్టినా ప్రభు. 70 మైనస్ 33 కాదు, కరెక్ట్ కదా? 37 అని పడుతుంది.
కాదు, 70 ప్లస్ 24 కూడా ఇంక్లూడెడ్ కదా. సో 71 మైనస్ 23 చేయండి.
33 కదా? 33 అన్వర్స్ రైట్? 23 కదా?
23 కదా? సరే
38 అనుకోండి. 30 అసలు అండర్ 40. సో అండర్ 40 వర్సెస్ ప్రభు జస్ట్ లైక్ బ్రహ్మ సంహిత లాగానే ఉంది ఇది. మరి ఎట్లా మనం మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి కదా ప్రభు? ఇవాళ ఇదే చేద్దాం. అది అందుకంటే ట్యూన్ అంతా ఒకటే, 1 or 2 డిఫరెంట్ ట్యూన్ మీటర్స్. ఇక అట్లనే బ్రహ్మ సంహిత లాగానే అట్లా ఒకసారి ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే మనం నెక్స్ట్ అది స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. ఆల్రెడీ మన గ్రూప్ లో పిన్ చేసిన ప్రభు 2 ఉన్నాయి. అది పురుష సూక్తం అండ్ ఇంకోటి నారాయణ కవచం. ఓకే, అవి 2 నేర్చుకుందాం. విల్ సీ ఏదంటది. ఇది లాస్ట్ టైం 69 చేసినాం కదా ప్రభు. 70 ఇది లాస్ట్ వన్ రైట్?
ఓకే. తామ ఏవాత్మన్ ఆత్మస్థం. ఆత్మస్థం అంటే ఇన్ ఎవ్రీ హార్ట్ యూ విల్ బి సిట్యుయేటెడ్. యూ సర్వభూతేషు అవస్థితం. పూజయత్వం గృణంతశ్చ జ్ఞానంతశ్చాస్కృత్ హరి. కృత్ హరి.
యా
Prabhu, this is the verse now which can be completely altered by the Mayavadis, and be told that all the shlokas, before this, is to conclude only this, that he is Nirankari Paramatma in everyone's heart. He doesn't have a form. And he says that, Prabhu, if you go to the Mayavadi school, that is why Prabhupada's purport here will be very big actually. तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूजयध्वं गृणन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चास्कृद्धरिं ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरिं ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरिं. That is important. You concentrate and always remember. Dhyayam means always remember. Chasa krit harim. Krit harim, that continuously remember that harim which is in your heart. Okay, so at last Lord Shiva tells to all the prachetas that he is also situated in your all hearts and in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. So you can continuously remember him and glorify him. This is the final instruction. Okay.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. So
I'll
synonyms
just
చేద్దాం.
recite it, Prabhu. I'll
Yeah.
just recite it. Before that, one devotee with synonyms, one devotee with translation.
Can I read synonym,
Anybody?
Prabhuji?
Yeah. Go ahead, Mataji.
Synonyms: tam, unto him; iva, certainly; atmanam, the supreme soul; atmastham, within your hearts; sarva, all; bhuteshu, in every living being; avasthitam, situated; pujayadhvam, the just worship him; granatah, cha, always chanting; dhyantah cha, always meditating upon; asakrit, continuously; harim, the supreme personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. One Prabhuji can go with the translation.
Hari bol, Akincham Prabhu. Otherwise, I will do. Translation by SLKR. Therefore, O sons of the king, the supreme personality of Godhead Hari is situated in everyone's heart. He is also within your hearts. Therefore, chant the glories of the Lord and always meditate upon him continuously. Hari bol.
So there is the final instruction that he is also situated within your heart. You can glorify him and remember him continuously. And there is one bit important, what is a tongue twister here in the last line. So we will just concentrate on that. We will do it 6 times and then we will go with the recitation. Okay. Dhyayantaschasa krit harim.
Dhyayantaschakrit harim.
Dhyayantascha sakrit kada.
Dhyayantaschasa krit harim.
Dhyayantaschasa krit harim.
ధ్యాయంతశ్చ సకృత్ కదా, అదే కదా.
Dhyayantaschasa krit harim. Means always remember and remember the name of the Lord. Always remember the Lord which is in your heart. Dhyayantaschasa krit harim.
Dhyayantaschasa harim.
Krit harim.
Dhyayantaschasa krit harim.
Dhyayantaschasa krit harim.
Dhyayantaschasa krit harim.
Dhyayantaschasa krit harim.
One more final time. Okay.
Prabhu, your voice
Dhyayantaschasa
is
krit
breaking,
harim.
Prabhuji. Is it my internet or yours?
Dhyayantaschasa krit harim.
Dhyayantaschasa sakrudharim.
మళ్ళీ సారీ
ఎవరైతే అన్నారు?
ఆ మధ్యలో మీ వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుండేది, అది నా ఇంటర్నెటా మీ ఇంటర్నెటా తెలియలేదు.
ఓకే. I'll just recite now. Tamevatmanamaatmastham. Please repeat.
Tamevatmanamaatmastham.
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 Sarvabhuteshvavasthitam.
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 Pujayadhvam grinantascha.
Pujayadhvam grinantascha.
Pujayadhvam grinantascha.
Pujayadhvam grinantascha.
Pujayadhvam grinantascha.
Pujayadhvam grinantascha.
Dhyayantascha sakrit harim. ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम् ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम् We will do 3 more times because myself I am not confident in this. Okay. ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम्
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 2 lines together. तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितम् तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितम्
सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितम्
तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितम्
सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितम्
पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम्
पूजयध्वं
पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम् पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम्
पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम्
All the 4 lines together now. तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम्
सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम्
तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम् तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम् Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Practice, devotees. Yeah. Whoever wants to leave first, please do it. Then leave.
Can I first do it, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yeah.
तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चासकृद्धरीम्. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yeah. Mataji. Okay. Next chant, devotees.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
You read Mataji.
तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्च सकृदरिम्. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah.
तमेवात्मानम् आत्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूज्यत्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्चाष्टकृद्धरीम्
Thank you. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. त्वमेव आत्मानमात्मस्थां सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितां पूज्याध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्च सकृद्धरीम्.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूजयध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ధ్యాయంతశ్చ స కృద్ధరిం.
Thank
హరే
you.
కృష్ణ.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Muralidhar Prabhu. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. 40 seconds. Attention Prabhu dropped off. Okay. So I will do and we can wrap up. Okay. Let me try. तमेवात्मानमात्मस्थं सर्वभूतेष्वस्थितं पूजयाध्वं गृह्णन्तश्च ध्यायन्तश्च హరిం. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ డివోటీస్. సో రేపటి నుంచి ఎట్లా చేద్దాం ప్రభుజీ? హరి బోల్. లలిత్ మోహన్ ప్రభు.
ఏం ప్రభు ఏంటంటారు?
సో రేపటి నుండి వాట్స్ ద ప్లాన్? ఇట్లా 10
మీరు చెప్పండి ప్రభు.
10 వర్సెస్ చేద్దాం. ఏంటి పరిస్థితి?
సరే చేద్దాం ప్రభు. అట్లా 10 శ్లోకాస్ ఒక వీక్ చేద్దాం. 3 వీక్స్ పడుతుంది.
4 weeks, 1 month అనుకోండి.
4 వీక్స్ పడుతుంది, 1 month పడుతుంది.
యా, హరి బోల్. ఓకే. వాంఛాకల్పతరుభ్యశ్చ కృపా సింధుభ్య ఏవ చ పతితానాం పావనేభ్యో అనంతకోటి వైష్ణవ వృంద కీ జై. జగద్గురు శిల ప్రభుపాద కీ జై. నితాయ్ గౌర్ హరి ప్రేమానందే. హరి హరి బోల్. సీ యూ ఆల్ టుమారో. ఐ థింక్ టుమారో ఏకాదశి. ఐ థింక్ ఇండియా అదేనా? నాట్ షూర్. లెట్ మీ సీ వైష్ణవ్ క్యాలెండర్.
రేపే.
సో రేపు మనం కలవాము. అంతే, ఎల్లుండి. ఓకే, లెట్ మీ సీ వైష్ణవ్ క్యాలెండర్. యా, రేపుంది ఏకాదశి. సో ఏకాదశి మేబీ కామన్ కాల్ ఉంటుందేమో, చూద్దాం. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ నాట్ దే దెన్ వీ విల్ కనెక్ట్ ఆన్ టుడే ఇస్ థర్స్డేనా ఇండియా? ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు రేపు కనెక్ట్ కాకపోతే నెక్స్ట్ మండే నుండి మండే నుండి 10 శ్లోకాలకు స్లైడ్ తయారు చేద్దాం. ఓకే, హరి బోల్. దెన్ హ్యావ్ ఏ కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్ వీకెండ్.
ఓకే.
ధన్యవాదాలు.